Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of This Is How We Roll. I am Joel Willert down here at Sam Rayburn, Texas. Just finished up the Bassmaster Open. And today I'm going to show you guys how I rolled this week for the Bassmaster Open, taking a 16th place finish, and what baits and what rods and reels I used. So the first rod and reel I used was a GLOOMIS NRX. It's the 894C jig worm rod. Man, this rod is perfect. It's 7-foot 5-inch heavy with a fast action. I used a fast reel 8.5 to 1, and that was the CURADO K. Threw it on 16-pound fluorocarbon. I was fishing mostly brush piles. I was throwing a 10-inch Berkley power bait worm on a 5/0 Gamakatsu hook with a Swagger tungsten half-ounce sinker. This 10-inch worm in the brush piles and around different types of cover down here in the south this time of year is really just a major staple that will catch bass. You can throw it up on rocks. I really kind of threw it everywhere, got bites everywhere I went. It's one thing that if you're down south in this time of year in the summertime, you gotta have one tied on. One of my second players was a drop shot. This is a Morning Dawn Robo Worm. Threw it on a 1/4 ounce Swagger tungsten drop shot weight. Shimano STRADIC CI4 reel, 3000 size, and an NRX 872. This is a medium action, extra fast rod. Again, I was fishing brush piles with it. It's got quite a bit of backbone. It's got a good tip. I was able to get those fish up out of the brush pile and keep them coming before they got me wrapped around. Another major setup that put a bunch of bass in the bowl for me this week was just a DT10 and a DT14 crankbait. I was throwing this particular DT10 crankbait here on a Shimano ZODIAS rod. It's the 172 medium heavy glass rod. I was throwing that paired with the CURADO K, 6.2 to 1 gear ratio reel. It's a slower gear ratio reel with 12-pound fluorocarbon. You know, it was allowing me to get that crankbait down into the water column without, you know, moving that crankbait too fast with a higher gear ratio. Last but not least, when I moved up shallow and was punching grass this week, I was using the GLOOMIS GLX. It's a 7.5 extra fast heavy rod. I was throwing it on a 1 ounce Swagger tungsten weight here. Again, a CURADO K, 8.5 to 1. You know, I was punching mats, and when that bait would get down into those mats, underneath those mats, and I would get hooked up with a fish, I needed to get the fish out of there fast, which is why I used the 8.5, the high gear ratio reel, the 65-pound Power Pro braid. Got those fish up out of the mat and got them to the boat before they can swim around and get stuck in that hydrilla and have the opportunity to get off. So that is how I rolled this week down here on Sam Rayburn for the Bassmaster Open to take my 16th place finish. Thank you for tuning in to this week's segment. If you like this content, please click the subscribe button. In the meantime, I'm going bass.